Yo, what's good, chat? Today I'm going to show you how to make beautiful piano melodies and beats, both actually, because why not? I'm not going to waste any time, so let's go. Alright, so before we actually get into anything, I just want to say I dropped a drum kit, and this is the only drum kit you're ever going to need. Like, if you just start making beats, you need sounds, here it is. Look at how many sounds are in here, it's crazy. Crazy value. So yeah. Alright, so let's get into it. So obviously, you're going to need a VST of a piano sounds, and I'm putting you on some game. This is my favorite preset of all time, honestly. Like, I've scoured like every VST for piano sounds, and this is probably my top 1 or top 5. So this is what this sounds like. So yeah, it's just like super soft, but there's a lot of free like VSTs too. You don't have to have an Omnisphere. So yeah, that's your step 1. Just choose a good sound. I also put like effects. I always put like this effect chain on my piano. So then the next step is obviously cooking up a melody. For this video, I already have a melody made because I feel like it's way easier to explain instead of you guys just watching me for like half an hour try to make something. And this is a perfect opportunity to plug my new MIDI kit that just dropped. Royalty free, no credit required, no revenue splits, it's royalty free. And this melody is actually from that kit. So before I explain, I'll just play it. So now I'll kind of go over the process of how you can make your own. So my first kind of tip is to say you should have a MIDI keyboard. It's not required, but it's way easier to make like realistic sounding melodies that actually sound like human instead of just robotic, like what you would get if you clicked in all the notes. So I'm kind of gonna show you the process of how you would make something. So this is an example of like the first step of how I'd make a melody. Just start off with something like super simple and generic. Like you don't have to try to do so much immediately. So this could be an example of the first thing I cooked up. So yeah, that would be like my first idea, but obviously you just have to keep building on top of it. The key is you just like keep stacking on top of it. So this is the top line that I added. And this is it all together. So basically, the tip here is just, you don't have to make like a whole melody all at once. Just keep it simple and then keep like adding on to it, and eventually you'll come out with something that sounds good. So yeah, if you can't make melodies, just get the MIDI kit, bro. Something's missing. It needs layers. That's how you get like the beautiful sound. You need layers. So we're far from it. I would add so much more to this, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So the key to this, or at least what I do, is to just copy and paste the same exact melody onto like new sounds. So for example, I'm gonna just open up a random pad and paste the same melody onto it. This is actually gonna like hurt me to show. Like, this is one of my favorite presets ever in Omnisphere. Liquid Anglung Streams. I can't believe I'm putting this sauce out there. But here's an example of what this pad sounds like. It's just like such a beautiful background sound, man. So here's how it like mixes together with the piano. So we already got like something crazy cooking, but I always add like way more stuff. Like that's where like the real character and beauty comes from. So I'm just gonna keep opening stuff. Just, you could copy my presets if you want, why not? That's why I'm showing you. Also a pro tip, like when you find a preset you like, just like save it for later. Okay, so I opened up another pad and copied the same exact pattern onto it. This is also a classic preset. It's just something that is slightly adding to the vibe. You don't want to add anything that like takes away focus from the piano. Like, it should be like a background element. Another trick I just like to do is just duplicate the same exact pad and just pitch it up. Like, it started down here, now it's up here. That just like fills out more of the frequency. It's the same exact pad, just pitched higher up. So now we're like really starting to like build out something. but I'm gonna add like just a few more background elements. Okay, here's something I always add like really quiet in the background. It's this pad from Serum. It's hard to read, but it says pad atmospheric. I don't know exactly where this is from. It's from some random Serum bank, but this is one of my favorite pads. So it's like so quiet, but it just adds like that slight high end. Okay, now I sometimes like to add like an ARP from Electra. Nothing too insane, usually very quiet. And as you can see, it's only like the bottom half of the pattern. I didn't want it to go too crazy. It just adds like a tiny bit of movement to it. So here's what we have so far. It's starting to sound like really full. Yeah, that sounds beautiful. I don't want to go overkill, but I'm gonna add like just a couple more things. I'm sorry if this doesn't really like show the process. I just like have this very specific way of doing things. Okay, so now I have this preset in Labs. There's a free plugin, by the way, and there's a free preset too, like this completely free. It's glass piano, and what I'm gonna do is just copy this like top line from our pattern and just paste it in, pitch it up, move it to the right. It's just gonna create like this kind of accent. So I'm gonna play it just with the piano so far. It's almost like the top line is now like echoing with this accent sound. It's just something that's way tucked into the background. So that's all I'm gonna add. So this is what the full thing sounds like. So that's like a really nice and full melody. It's not overdone, but it sounds full enough, if that makes sense. And notice how nothing I added is competing with the piano. You gotta let that be like the main element still. Okay, I lied. The final thing I'm gonna add is this sub bass from Omnisphere. It's a classic preset. Pretty sure like everybody knows about this. And I just copied the root notes and pasted it. So that's obviously our whole pattern, and as you can see, we only made one pattern and we copied it just over all these sounds, and that made it fuller. It's not about like making the most like melodically complex thing ever. It's more about layering it. Layering it is like the secret. Okay, so I split it up and I'm gonna show you how I would arrange this. So I'm gonna arrange this as if I was exporting it as a loop, because that's how I like to work. I like to export it as a loop. Okay, so here's the structure. This is the intro. We got 16 bars for chorus or hook or whatever, and 16 bar verse. And then I usually just have a section that plays all at once. So now you gotta just play with this so it's not like repetitive. Basically what I do is I make like the most complex part the hook, and during the verse you just like cut some things out. And usually the intro is like the whole thing. You just want to like create some like movement so it doesn't get like stale. So like when the beat drops, I took out like some of the sounds, and just during this part I made the melody simpler. And then I always like to include this one part in my loops where like it's very like ambient. Like there's no piano anymore, it's just like the background elements, and that sounds fire. So I'm just gonna export this and then drag it back in. Okay, so now I have the loop in a new project. So now obviously, to make a beat, we gotta add drums to it, obviously, bro. That's why I clicked on the video. So every single sound I'm about to use is from the drum kit I just dropped. So tap in. It's every sound you're ever gonna need, ever. Alright, so I already like laid out this series of sounds that I'm gonna use. So let's get it. Obviously, we're gonna start out with a clap, as you do. Like, bro, you could already tell this is fire, honestly. Real ones just know. So now we got the hi-hat. But I'm gonna spice it up like the hi-hat god. Spice it up a little bit. Obviously, just don't overdo it or make it sound too crazy. Alright, I'm gonna add my go-to open hat. That's literally what it's called because it's my go-to. I always just put it like this. keep it simple. Something I like to do is just like add like a bunch of open hats quietly in the background kinda. So here I got this one. I'm just add it somewhere. So it just adds like a little something. And I'm just gonna add a couple more. Okay, now I have this open hat that I reversed. Obviously I'm not gonna use it like that. Put this envelope on it. Real ones know what this is. And I like to put this like around here. You don't have to like copy what I do like bar for bar. It's just what I like to do. So it just creates like a bit of spice, you know? So now I'm just gonna add a perk. This is like one of the most textbook things of all time, just putting it right here. Just creates like that bounce. Okay, so now I have another perk. And you hear how there's an open hat here? Sounds like really good if you put something before that. So it like bounces off, it creates like a bounce. Yeah, that's fire. You just don't have to overthink it. I'm gonna just add like one more sound right here. Yeah, it's fire. Okay, some of you keen-eyed people may have noticed we did not add the 808 yet. Let's lock in on that. I'm sure you always know to follow the root notes of the melody you just made. I like to spice it up a little bit, so I added this thing over here. So yeah, just keep it simple. I don't even know. Oh yeah, I didn't mention, but when I use a Spins 808, I always put like this EQ on it. It just like kind of makes it more present, easier to hear. And by the way, something you should always do is EQ the low end out of your melody. Like here I did like 130. The way you do this is just go here and just drag this to maybe like 130. Just so the 808 has more room. Like as you could hear, they're not like competing for space as they would be otherwise. So that's really it. Here's just the drums, I guess. So it sounds like super generic, but that's kind of what you want, especially when the melody is good. You let the melody carry, so you don't have to go crazy on the drums. Like the melody is obviously the standout part. So here's it as a whole, I guess. So now you just gotta arrange it. So I'm gonna show you how I would. You just like take some things in, take some things out, because it would be stale if you just played the same stuff over and over again. And you should like sprinkle in the sub bass without the 808 sometimes. Basically the same thing repeats over and over again, just the same 32 bars. You could obviously add like some little variations like halftime. Yeah, all that is halftime in Shaver Box. That's like really it. I don't think there's anything I'm missing. At the same time, I don't want to like over explain. Hopefully I explained enough. I don't want to have to like over explain, but I don't want to like under explain either. I guess you guys could let me know. Okay, so that's low-key it. So basically what you guys should have learned is to buy the drum kit. $7 for the only sounds you're ever gonna need in your life, hopefully. And if you can't make melodies, get the royalty-free MIDI kit. there's so many MIDI files in there, and you get 100% of the royalties. Like, you don't owe me credit or anything. So yeah, that's it. I guess I'll play the final beat, and yeah.